Oh, yeah. What is up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of the Comfort and Chaos podcast with, of course, you got me and, of course, my main man, Will. All right, guys. And here we're going to help you guys find some common sense and common sense analysis, a common sense approach in this uncommon world of just chaos every day, in every way. But I appreciate you guys coming in. If you're new to the channel, guys, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, be part of the Comfort and Chaos community. And as we continue to grow and expand, and let's continue to find comfort in our daily chaos together. So, Will, how you been, man?
I'm good, man. Phenomenal weekend. Got to see a concert, see some punk bands. That was awesome. We had early Valentine's dinner.
Ooh.
Like a little mystery theater, little murder mystery. It was Colonel Mustard in the study with the candlestick kind of thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. Like, great weekend.
That is cool.
It was fun, man.
So they provide dinner and everything for you, or
yeah. There's like, you go in, right? Like, that you get a drink ticket, so you go in, hang out at the bar, and like the characters and stuff are walking around, BSing and talking to you and like playing it up, hamming it up. Go into the restaurant area that's all private at that point. Like, they do the murder mystery while you're having dinner, get a little prime rib action, some more drinky drink, somebody gets whacked, and then you get to solve the mystery. It's great, man.
did you solve the mystery?
Of course, dude. I had that thing down like
before
we walked in, I was like,
you over there asking the
I told the wife,
yeah,
I didn't even ask him a question. Like, I had the wife go ask one question. I was like, I know who it is. She's like, how do you know? I was like, because I pay attention. I might have done this a time or two.
So awesome. What was on the dinner menu?
Prime rib, man. We had it was crab cake. To start with a little salad, big old hunk of prime rib, mashed potatoes, asparagus. Close it out with some cheesecake. It was delicious. Delicious. So good.
And what was the cocktail? What was the cocktail choice?
So let's see. We started off right. The drink ticket was like not high end. So it was like, they were like, we can do a like cocktail if you want. I was like, okay, give me an old fashioned. It was like 4 roses. It was a little rough. It's a little rough, man.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, like, now it's time to start paying for them. The wife went, with our friend, and maybe someday sponsored the Buffalo, little Buffalo Trace old fashioned.
There you go.
So she started working that in. I went ahead and jumped up. I went double Eagle Rare neat, the 10-year. Delicious. It's so good when it hits the lips.
Yeah.
And was just kind of, working that for the rest of the night. It was good.
Damn, that's what's up, man. So you had an early Valentine's Day evening, huh?
Yeah. Like, skip all of the BS, right? Have a good night, have some tasty drinks. It was great.
No, that's legit. Did she get you a gift?
You know what? Her undying love every day
is all you need.
That's all I need.
Look at that, man.
She did send me a meme today that said she was angry because I haven't asked her to be my Valentine yet. And she just assumed it was because we lived together and I was being rude. So,
I mean, did you tell her it was your undying love?
I think I just like sent like a thumbs down emoji.
You didn't send like the eggplant,
I thought about it. Not gonna lie.
Well, that's actually pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
How about you? What was your weekend like? What did you do?
Man, Super Bowl weekend, man. Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We were fortunate enough. The bosses gave us a late work call on Monday. celebration of Super Bowl. So, and it was good because I kind of needed it. It was I was hoping the Chiefs were going to lose. I was rooting for the Philly.
Yeah.
So it was a good game. It was very entertaining.
Was
Had
it?
had the Hazel Baden flowing, nice
The
and strong.
Hazel Baden?
Yep. Or Basil Hayden. There you go. Basil Hayden.
No, you had it right the first time.
Oh, okay.
When you've had
All I
too
know
many
is-
Basil Haydens, they turn into Hazel Badens.
That's right. That's right. Well, either way, Hazel was keeping me flowing that day.
Yeah.
And so it was good to have that time off, if you know what I mean. A little late work call.
Yeah.
So I needed that. But man, I'll tell you what. So that Super Bowl, that Super Bowl. Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
Did you watch the game?
Yeah.
Not a fan.
It just wasn't like, right. Nobody in America outside of Philly and Kansas City, had any dog in the fight other than to watch Kansas City get mud stomped. But it was Philly, like the worst fan base one of the worst fan bases in the NFL, arguably.
Yeah.
Right. So, you just kind of want it to be a competitive game. You want it to be compelling.
You do.
And Philly just mud stomped the shit out of them. I ate them up.
Oh yeah. But I was really rooting for them, and because I saw the Kansas City Buffalo game, and I was not a fan of how that one went down. I was not a fan. There were some horrible calls. I mean, it was obvious too. I mean, when you see the announcers literally blushing because they're former football players and they know the sport, they know the rules.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this is going to be called back. Yeah, it's an incomplete pass. And then they're just like silent. They're like, oh, wow. It's complete. Okay. You could just see they're blushing up there because they're not trying to bad talk the refs because they're not supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're put in a situation like, oh, okay. That's not how should be called.
It looked like this game was going to start going that way. Off that first possession, right? Just an absolute dog shit call. And even Tom Brady was like who's announcing and calling the game. He was like, oh, that's not right. That's a terrible call.
No, exactly.
Here we go again.
And for some reason, I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't happen all the time to other teams, but for some reason, it's like guaranteed to happen in Kansas City games. Guaranteed. And I'm not trying to jump on that conspiracy train, but there's a lot that just doesn't make sense with that when they play the ball. Like when they got the ball, it's like, uh-oh. But it was entertaining. I was very disappointed with the halftime show. I thought that was going to be a banger. Okay. I thought it was going to be a banger, man. I mean, it's I don't know.
It wasn't
too impressed. I wasn't too impressed,
Okay. Like I thought it was exactly.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair, right? Like that's fair. I thought it was exactly what I thought it was going to be, right? It wasn't a blowout. Like it wasn't a bad performance.
No.
I loved Uncle Sam.
That was pretty cool.
Hilarious.
Samuel L. Jackson. That was pretty cool.
Loved it. When they announced that basically like Kendrick Lamar was going to be solo, there was nobody else that was going to be up on stage, right? Usually you see these kind of like super, mashups of some different styles, and it's going to be super flashy. And like, it was like, okay, like it's just going to be Kendrick just slinging it. Like, okay, cool, man. Like it was what it was. I didn't think it was terrible. Like, but it wasn't, if you weren't a Kendrick Lamar fan, you probably was like, what the fuck is this? What is this? What is this?
Exactly.
Like, that's it. Like, that's it.
I was a big fan when they had Dr. Dre. I thought he put on a good show.
Dude, that was phenomenal.
He brought out 50 Cent. He brought out Snoop, and he played all the banger tracks. I mean, it was it was very entertaining. It came out in a lowrider. Like, it was pretty cool. It was really cool. I was very impressed.
They seem to kind of go back and forth, right? Like, you'll get some of the older, like, folks from our generation, maybe one more, ones that we heard growing up when we were kids. And the complaint is like, cool, from the kids these days, they're like, cool, like grandpa's music back up on there, like love it.
I mean, it's tough.
And then they flip it to like, very modern, right? Like this dude is winning, all the awards this year, all the praise this year, right? Obviously some a lot of shit went down with Drake and all that. And right now it's like us boomers are like, what the fuck is this? This is stupid.
What's going on here?
What is this? I don't understand what he's saying. Like, dude, what Pearl Jam was saying? You listen to Pearl Jam, right? Like, you remember what that dude was saying? Like, nobody knew what that dude was saying either. Like, calm down, it'll be okay.
It'll all buff out. It's gonna all buff out, team. It'll buff out. But yeah, man, it was a good game though to me. Philly, I mean, they absolutely dominated. Their defensive line just couldn't let Mahomes do anything. To include, Kansas couldn't show up. That I want to pull up this picture here because I love, the internet's gonna go crazy. And one of these memes really stood out to me. Really like this.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is perfect because it looked like a Cowboys performance out there.
Yeah, it kind of did, man. It kind of did. I saw one, it was like the Scooby-Doo, like pulling the mask off. And it was like I know who this is, and it's Dak under like they rip
man,
Mahomes
people really rip on Dak Prescott, man.
Well,
they really do rip on Dak Prescott.
He deserves it.
Yeah, I mean,
he deserves it.
Yeah, he does for the amount of money he's getting. Yes, but I also know, like you mentioned before earlier, though, man, those Philly fans waste no time. Now, when we were watching the game, and I can see Philly's already going to win. I was talking to some of my buddies who were here, and I was like, "Oh, you already know the cops are getting spun up. Like they're all working over there, and they're all posted up out of every sports bar, every major sports bar, and cruising downtown because they know what's coming. They know what's coming."
That was the joke. Is like, are we gonna have the Philly win riot or the Philly lose riot? Because either way, there's gonna be a riot.
So what's this? This is footage from the same night, or
yeah. Here's a Philly win riot.
Why?
Tuning people up.
This is insane.
Philly win riot.
Damn. Fly, Eagles fly.
Get it.
Oh, of course.
Philly win riot. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I think they're still looking for one of the traffic lights that got ripped out. You know how they ripped out a traffic light and started doing it down the street? I don't know if they
Oh, snap.
Bang, bang.
Bang.
I think we get the message.
Like, I just don't get it. Why destroy your own city? Like you're destroying your home.
Philly, man. It's Philly.
That is insane. Like geez, man. I never understood that, I would understand if they all like got together and said, let's go to Kansas City, let's go,
Right. Yeah.
No, you're destroying your own home, man.
Yeah, it's really wild, man. Like, I thought they had kind of like calmed it down at least a little bit after It was the Green Bay game where the Philly fan got caught like was filmed calling a Green Bay fan like this just girl, like the C word, like multiple times and harassing her.
Gosh.
And they booted the dude out of the stadium for life. Like he got fired and outed. Like he got canceled basically.
Gosh.
Like, it was pretty bad, right? He was obviously being a complete douchebag. So it was kind of like, oh, maybe they got it. They got the message. Like, hey, we all need to chill out and be cool. Nope.
Not even close.
Let's riot.
Let's riot. Let's destroy our home.
Yeah. Let's destroy downtown. Why not?
Why not? I mean, it's been a while, and now we're here. Let's do it.
Yeah, we won, so we get to wreck shit. Okay, Philly, good job.
Good job, Philly. Jeez, man, get your acts together, team. Man. Oh well. Super Bowl. It's come and gone. Now we got like 17 weeks before another football game. So
we're in the drought. Yeah, it's the drought.
Now it's
the dark times. It's the dark
times. That's right. But the UFL is going to start up soon in the spring, so that'll be nice. We'll see how that goes. See if they get that up and running.
Nobody watches the UFL.
I mean, it's something. Check it out. We'll see. But either way, now to shift on to some other current hot topics of today, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are tracking, it's making all the headline. There's one gentleman who's all over the place right now, and that is Will's main man, Mr. Elon. Yes. Yeah. So this meme was flying around. It was actually pretty interesting. There will be cuts.
So good.
Man, I'm curious. Will, I mean, he's out there. He's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. This DOGE, and I can tell you straight up, just from my own personal experience that I'm literally living and experiencing on the daily, is that parking lot at work is a lot more full now than it used to be.
What?
Oh yeah, let's just put it that way. On base, let's just put it this way: parking lots are full. And it's like, man, I didn't know all these people were working here. Were they teleworking or what? Like, what was that? I didn't realize how many teleworkers there were in the civilian sector of the military. Like, I didn't know that, because everyone's at work now.
Yeah.
It's like it's crazy, but that's just the impact, Of course, there's also they put out the president put out for like kind of like I wouldn't say a forced retirement, but they're definitely trimming the fat, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it was return to work or quit, like your call. Go back to the office. And then there was offers depending on the type of positions, and exactly what they were. There's been mass buyouts. So, hey, we will give you 8 to 9 months of pay. If you say, hey, I'm good, like I'll quit. I'll go find employment elsewhere. I'll take my 9 months of pay. I don't have to show up to work anymore. I can use that until I can go find another position. But a lot of those are, there's a lot of challenges currently being laid out in the legal system. Multiple lawsuits have been filed challenging the legality of what the president and DOGE are doing. So there's some of these things that are on pause. There's questions on the legality of things. You talk to the Trump administration and they're like, we're on sound legal footing. He's the executive of the executive branch, right? And has the power to hire and fire within the branch. And then there's others who are like, he's absolutely overstepping his boundaries. And they're challenging it in court. So There's tens of thousands. I think the last number I heard was 60 plus thousand. I might be wrong on that have already accepted the buyout. Like, yep,
the buyout.
But now because there have been these legal challenges. Now the question is he even able to do that? So there's a lot of pause. It's going to be a stop and go for a lot of these things for quite a while.
Oh yes. But I will tell you this though, he's definitely I would say bringing back accountability.
Oh yeah,
in that sense.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of like the big thing. That's kind of where I shifted more towards. That is like the main function for this is just bringing back accountability. It's not like it's not like they're going into intentionally trim the fat, but they're just, because they're doing their accountability audit, as you would say, now they're identifying the fat that needs to be trimmed. The wasted money. There's a lot of money, a lot of taxpayer money.
Yeah.
That is being either mishandled or wasted, which we've spoken about, previously.
Yeah. And this is the interesting part. There's the multiple arguments for and against. Your arguments against what Elon and the president are doing there's a wide swath of crazy town out there. There are some folks that are like, it's the orange man bad theory, right? Like,
yep.
I don't care that he found $50 million to drag shows in Serbia. Like, how dare he? And it's like, okay, you're a fucking crazy. Like, and you hear like politicians making this argument. I think that the actual, more realistic argument is, hey, like, you can argue that you can make the argument that, hey, it's wasteful, but it's not necessarily wasteful. It's your opinion. And this is true. This is the true part of it, right? Like, it's the opinion of what the spending was, being allocated towards, right? So my opinion is that's absolutely wasteful. It's disgusting that our tax dollars were being spent on, the types of things that they're uncovering now, right? I would argue it's the transparency argument. It's that is really the thing, right? I wouldn't call it fraud. You might, like, so they're definitely discovering fraud, absolutely, but it's the priorities, right? The priorities of the previous administration, and let's even dial it further back, because all of these Republicans that are now jumping on the DOGE train, where the fuck were you?
Right?
I don't know, the last 20 years? Like,
no,
other than like Ron Paul, Ron and Rand, like, right? Like, the folks that were a little bit more on the libertarian side, for the most part, and they were calling this stuff out for decades. Like, they've been calling this out. And everybody was just like, ha, 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 ha. Like, oh, you released your annual report of how terrible we all are at our jobs and how we misspent all this money.
Paul's just being Paul. What he does.
Like, he did it again.
Paul. Go Paul.
Like, those are the only ones. Those are the only ones that should be getting a pass right now. Everybody else has been like, where were you? Where were you? Like,
I absolutely agree.
Both sides. Like,
both sides, man. That accountability goes both ways. You know?
Yeah, all you jumping on this train, all the fake ones jumping on the train right now, like,
and that's
okay. I see you. You shouldn't be there either. And I hope they audit the shit out of you next, because I know there's skeletons in there too.
Oh yeah.
Like,
let's to see how that's going to turn out.
Let's shoot the accountability both ways. But man, they are finding some wild shit.
Oh yeah.
Some wild shit.
Speaking of that, this is like the latest one. This is the latest tweet from old Elon.
I love
One
following
of the
Doge.
latest. But yeah, no,
Didn't he change his name to Harry Balls too? Did you?
No, I did not know about that.
All right, you keep going. I'm gonna find something.
But no, I mean, this is basically now he's aiming towards FEMA right now, and I mean the stuff they are finding out on FEMA and the amount of money, like seriously, and this money could have been even applied towards Hawaii, towards the North Carolina, all those, like all these big disasters that we suffered here, even the fires in California, like. And you're seeing $59 million for luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal immigrants. $59 million.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, this is.
Yeah. 59.
That is
million.
Insane.
That was like last week. Like it's within
last week.
Like, since the administration has taken the Trump administration has taken the executive branch, since the House is is now run by Republicans, and he has put out executive orders basically telling them to stop doing this stuff. They are continuing to make payments. $59 million for 5-star hotels.
Holy crap, team. I don't know. Hey, guys, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on that. How do you guys feel about that? What are your thoughts? Because that's your money. That's our money. That is taxpayer money going towards that, and it could have been going towards, the fires in California, the Hawaii. Like there's so many people out there still suffering and don't have homes, still on the streets, still figuring out how they're going to make it, and all they got was that measly check of $700 from the Biden administration. That was it, and
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there is more than that, right? And when you, so like we boil it down to, they got 700. Yeah, that was the cash payout, from FEMA, There's hundreds, if not thousands, of people living in temp shelters right now, set up by FEMA. There's still food and drinking water, all being provided by FEMA. Some of the interesting part is the new Homeland Secretary, it's Kristi Noem. She's on the ground now in North Carolina. Yeah, she is moving, man. They are.
She is on. I don't think she's been in her office. She's probably in there once a week, and that's it.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, she's moving and shaking, but she's increasing the transparency and the response efforts comparatively, specifically in North Carolina. I think they really also need to, again, like you pointed out, focus on Hawaii, focus on LA. But you're talking about, that's $60 million housing illegal migrants in New York City 5-star hotels, when there are people in North Carolina right now still sleeping in soft shell, shelter in the middle of winter.
Jeez, man,
you've got to be kidding me, dude. This is what we're talking about.
No, exactly.
This is what we're talking about. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I found something for you, and it's specifically for you, because Elon is back to trolling again. I can't make this one up. Let's see if we can take a little look here.
Now, the disruptor in chief, Elon Musk, who apparently apparently has adopted the alias. At least he changed his social media handle to Harry Balls. Tweeted this morning, democracy in America is being destroyed by judicial coup. An activist judge is not a real judge.
That's CNN.
Harry Balls.
Well, so he's right, like they're outing the DOGE team, right? And they're right. Elon found these kids that he young college grads, right? Super technical, very finance oriented, and he's letting them loose, like, go find me the things that make you go, what the fuck, like, go find that stuff for me. And he's letting them loose inside these agencies, and they're finding them. So I think I don't know if it was one of the ones inside USAID or CFPB or one of the government agencies, right? They found his, like, gamer handler or something like that. It was Big Balls. Like, that was this kid's gamer handle or whatever. And so they're like, look at this. It's the guy named Big Balls is running around. How dare he? Like, hey, Big Balls just found out that you spent $60 million on illegal migrants at 5-star hotels in New York. Like, good.
Yep.
Good. Keep it coming.
Yep.
Keep it coming. Keep finding that absolute shit that the 90% of the American people, right? The overwhelming majority of the American people that elected the president, are like, yeah, that's insane. We don't want our tax dollars being spent on that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, rein that in. Absolutely go after that. Here's the flip side, right? You look at the level of disruption that is happening because they're basically saying, look, we're finding what we are calling fraud, waste, and abuse of the taxpayer money, right? So stop everything, right?
Okay.
Unless it is a direct payment to an American, right? Like your Social Security, direct benefit payments, right? Unless it is one of those, like, stop payment. Everybody stop, right? Well, that's causing a lot of chaos and potential disruption. And in the case of, like, USAID, right? There was a warehouse where there was weeks of food and life-saving medicine, right, that was being shipped overseas. Now, right, we can have the discussion of, like, how much of that, was actually getting to the people that it was intended for. How much did we pay, right? We took tax dollars from Americans who may be suffering, right? Or we could be using that money for, the hardest hit Americans inside this country. How much do you think we pay, the Rwandan government to allow us to distribute aid and medicine? Like, the level of kickbacks, and I've seen it. I have personally seen it on that continent.
Oh, wow.
From USAID, from the State Department, the level of kickbacks to high-level government officials inside those places is absolutely insane. To allow us to distribute food and aid into their countries, right? So when we actually start getting the handle on that, right, and going down to brass tacks, right, like, hey, like, if you want us, right, I think, we distribute more aid across the world than any country, and most countries combined.
Oh yeah.
The American people are a very generous people, but when you actually start figuring out how much of that is going to, like, top level warlords living in marble palaces, the people tend to be a little less generous. especially when you've got Americans sleeping on the street.
Oh yeah, and that's, I mean, we've been preaching about just make accountability great again. That's it. That's
Transparency and accountability.
Yeah, transparency and
but
accountability. Exactly.
Both ways. It goes both ways. Right.
That it does.
And some of the wild plans that are kind of coming out, right? Hey, Department of Education's in the crosshair right now.
Oh boy.
You know, let's be completely transparent.
Yeah.
It's a $268 billion a year program. $268 billion. The majority of its budget goes towards handing out money, right? Handing out grants, handing out funds down to, less fortunate. Let's put it that way. School districts and things like that.
The Title 10 or something. They have a name for those districts, like Title 10 or Title 8 districts.
No, I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But there's rampant right there. There is no accountability inside that agency. They can't audit their funds appropriately. And when you look at the overall policy setting that the federal government at the Department of Education level has done, like what is it equated to in the last 20 years? Are test scores up? Yes. Are Americans' youth better educated now than they were before the Department of Education?
What's that ROI? That return on investment.
Right. So it goes back to both ways transparency. So when you hear, the left is like they're gonna destroy the Department of Education, and if it completely shuts down, everybody's screwed, and all these school districts are not going to be able to get their funding. Students aren't going to be able to get FAFSA grants, which is a great program, but is extremely flawed. Right. And we used to tell our soldiers, hey, go apply for FAFSA grant. But Sarge, I'm already getting my college paid for. Yeah, they'll still give you money. Right? I don't hate the player, I hate the game. So, right, like you've got folks that have their education paid for that are getting then paid extra money for their education, but their education's being paid for. So there clearly there's some accounting issues and some fraud issues inside that program. Right. So let's get accountable. But on the flip side, right, if you say you're going to shut down the Department of Education and shift some of its services, you better have a fucking plan.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's the same problem they had with USAID. Hey, you can do two things can be true at once. Right. You can be hurting some of the poorest people on the planet because you're trying to find the fraud that is going on inside that agency.
No, it's very true.
So you have to have a systematic plan. And right now they're just running around, just cutting shit. I love it. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There's a part of me that's like, you know what? Okay. Like you're cleaning about allegedly about $1 billion a day back into the taxpayer, right? Like back into programs that's
my question is what's going to happen with all this money?
Yeah, that's fair, right?
Like that's what I want to know. What are you going to do with it? Because now you identified the issue, but now what's the solution? Like,
right. Well, this is where does it, Trump has promised a lot of tax cuts for the American people. Taxes on no taxes on overtime, no taxes on tips. Interestingly, Arizona just passed a state law, I believe, or got through their House. Every single Republican voted for no taxes on tips. Every single Democrat voted against. right? So really what is happening right now, it's very interesting. The Republicans are attaching themselves to 80-20 issues, right?
Mhm.
80% of people are like, yeah, you know what? Like, let's stop taxing the shit out of people who are making tips. Like, I'm good with that. Like, in theory, it sounds good.
Mhm.
Right? Where are you going to make that money up? That right? Like, that's a gigantic tax cut to the
Yeah.
government is what it really is, right? So all of those social programs, all of your DEI programs, all of your right, like all the programs where a lot of people are like, I kind of don't like that. You're going to have to cut some of that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't know. Let's put it back into Social Security. Let's put it back into the programs that where we're all paying into, where like it's about to be completely insolvent. Like it's destroyed. Like you and I will never see Social Security at the
Don't
rate
say
it's
that.
gone. Like
Damn, don't say
we
that.
paid into this system that government bureaucrats, Republicans and Democrats have fucking
Yep.
bankrupted.
Yeah.
So hey, like let's cut a bunch of shit. Let's see where it goes. I don't know.
That is going to be very interesting. Where's the money going to go, team?
Yeah.
So please comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on this. Because like you said, yeah, tax cuts sound nice, but what's the end result for that? What's it going to lead to? That action is going to have a result. What's it going to lead to? And what's that long-term payout going to look like? Like, what's it going to look like if it's going to be an issue and you bring a solution, but then all of a sudden that solution created multiple issues down the road. Hey, what's that plan? Please, I just tell me you got somebody who's thinking about this shit, just please tell me you got somebody thinking about that shit.
Yeah.
I'll feel better. I'll feel better,
Yeah. Yeah. Have the plan.
That's right. Have the plan.
Hope is not a plan.
Hope is not a plan. That is absolutely true. Hope is not a plan. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out, man. We'll see. I know Elon was in the Oval Office today. He met with President Trump. So I'm pretty sure that was like kind of like a back brief on what's going on. They're probably planning some stuff, just kind of briefing him on it.
I think Elon and old Ron Paul need to go into the IRS next.
Oh, they're gonna stop there. They're going to the IRS.
Oh yeah.
It. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. So we'll see how that pans out. But in other news, we've always talked about this all the time, especially with the big release of like the declassification of the JFK and Martin Luther King files, and we kept asking, what about Epstein? What's about that Epstein list? It just disappeared.
Yeah.
Well, this article just came out today, Anna Luna to lead the task force on declassification of JFK assassination records and Epstein client list, also to include that there's additional articles that touch base on MLK as well, JFK, MLK, the Epstein list and all that stuff. So we're gonna see how this turns out. I'm very curious. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are as well, because especially with the Epstein stuff, it just kind of disappeared. It was like elevated to this big thing, and then all of a sudden, boom, just crickets. Because isn't that one woman? Was it Ghislaine Maxwell? Yeah. Isn't she still like in confinement right now? And
oh yeah, she in prison.
Yeah, she's in prison. She's alive. I mean, what happened? What's going on with that?
Well, Hillary only got to one of them. Allegedly.
But yeah, man, that's gonna be interesting. We'll see comes out of that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are curious as well. So please comment down below, let us know your thoughts. I hope it's not gonna be where, oh, here it is, and literally everything's just redacted. Like everything,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and you're just like, well, we already knew all this stuff, you know, but they redact everything else. I don't know. I don't know how that all kind of stuff works, especially when they use the term declassification.
Yeah, yeah. How was that ever classified other than there was
That's
probably some very high
right.
level government officials that were
That is my
that
question.
took a little trippy trip to that island.
So obviously, if the MLK and JFK stuff, obviously, if there is some agency involvement, then okay, I understand that. But the Epstein stuff, how is that? How do you have rooms or ground to classify that?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
unless
No.
there's some involvement of, you know, something that could be, yeah. Like, how do you do that? That already, guys, if you know how that whole works, that whole
It's
process.
the same thing with the Diddy list, man. Like,
exactly.
right?
If
It's just powerful people, right? That are able to hide. Like,
yeah, but it's nice to know that they can hide behind like one of our security protocols, you know.
yeah, I don't know if
Like
it's necessarily I don't know, man. I don't know if it's necessarily classified or just right, like it's buried in the equivalent of a court classification. You know, it's sealed. The documents are sealed by the court. I don't think it's like an actually classified DOD, you know, government classification.
I
Right? It's
understand.
just sealed records, right? But there's so much money and power behind those things.
It's just not public information.
Yeah. In that case, right? In the Diddy files, in the Epstein client list, I let it fly. Let it fly.
Let it fly. Let it fly. Fly, Eagles, fly, team.
Yeah,
fly, Eagles, fly.
Good for them. No riots, though. No, please don't. No riots.
No riots.
Let's keep the riots to a general minimum. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm curious, man. What are your thoughts? You think anything juicy is going to pop out of that?
I mean,
or do you think it's going to be everything you already know? Like, or
no, I think if they actually release the full thing, like there's going to be a lot of questions.
You think anybody's going to do time?
I hope so. I hope so, man. There's some dirty shit.
No one got pardoned or anything for anything like that, right?
I don't know. I don't know how many pardons did.
I mean, there were like 1,000 plus pardons, 2,000 pardons this last administration did.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's already like another 2,000 that this current administration has done.
I mean, that's true.
People who are beating cops, like, and storming the Capitol, wearing shirts like yours.
That is true. Hey, dude, let me tell you about this thing. Let me tell you about this shirt. This has nothing. I have no way affiliated with anything like that. And you know what? How dare them they could have got a Hanes t-shirt from Walmart, real cheap, basic, white. But no, I actually lived in Hawaii, guys. Okay. I did my time. I got some aloha in me. All right. Let me tell you.
What was his name?
Man, how dare them? How dare them? Yeah, how dare them? You know what? How dare you? Jeez.
You have stolen my childhood.
How dare you, man?
Dare you?
I swear. Hey, stay away. Hey, anybody trying to do some crazy shit, don't be wearing no comfort and chaos gear, all right?
No.
Just don't do that.
Please don't.
Please don't.
I don't need pardons, dude. I don't need pardons. I don't need jail time. I don't.
Yes, I know.
No. But if you are interested in that comfort and chaos merch, dude, that new shop, like some of that new stuff is looking.
Yes, guys.
Good. It is looking good.
Thank you for reminding me, man. Thank you for reminding me. Hey, guys, if you haven't already, go check out the Comfort and Chaos shop because we got a new line that just released. The Trust and Verify series just released. It's been hard at work in design. We're talking, man, there's a lot of big meetings meetings upon meetings. People were talking, designer stuff's getting kicked back. I mean, it was chaos, but we finally came to a decision. And it is now live in the Chaos shop. So hit that link in the description. Go check it out, guys.
Good, man.
Get yourself some of that Comfort and Chaos gear. Trust and Verify series, but get it while you can because it's not going to be there forever, team. It's not going to be there forever. A lot of cool swag.
Limited run.
There's even swag for some of you ladies out there. Okay. Even swag for some of you ladies. So go check it out, guys.
I'm getting one of them fucking crop tops. I'm going to wear it on the show.
You know, you should. You know what? You should. You absolutely should. I support that. And I think the team. Comment down below, guys, if you'd like to see Will in that crop top. You know, just comment down below. I'm pretty sure he'll look nice. And then he's got some fresh ink he can show off too.
Oh no.
It'll look nice. It'll look nice. So comment down below, guys. Comment chaos down below. Chaos in all caps. All right. If you want to see Will in the crop top. All right. Hell yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, we'll get ready to wrap things up here, dude. But real quick, before we go, I want to just bring up this last thing. All right, because our new Secretary of Defense signed a document last night. Basically, and I want to know your thoughts, you know, and I know you know where I'm going with this, but he basically is bringing back Fort Bragg to Fort Liberty. So it is no longer Fort Liberty, and it is now back to Fort Bragg, but it is a different Bragg. Not the Bragg everybody is thinking about.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But I want to know, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on this?
I'm conflicted, man. Like, I'm conflicted on this one. Right.
Okay.
Like this, it all goes back to there, you know, a bunch of stuff can be true at once. So I was at Bragg when the Liberty stuff had kind of come out that they were going to rename it. The amount of money that just Fort Bragg had to pay, not even like the city of Fayetteville, right, to get rid of all the Bragg stuff, right? The amount of money that the installation had to pay, right? The cost was in the millions.
Oh, I believe it.
Right. So we're going to do that again. So, right. Like, well, maybe that's where all that money's going. That's not the right answer. That's not the right answer.
It's not a good start.
You know, I don't know about, right. Like, really, what are you changing? You're not changing anything. We all know what like is happening. Yet you're renaming it. You're saying it's not the Confederate general that it was originally named after. We're gonna, like, come on, man. Like,
World War II. I think a PFC or something.
Yeah,
actually did some cool stuff. When you look at the story, he actually did some pretty cool stuff in Bastogne. It's a cool story, but I do agree with you.
Absolutely. Like, but you're renaming it for the Confederate general, right? Like, let's.
Exactly. And here's my thought, though. I'm curious. Is this something, do you think he acted on his own for, or is this coming from the top? Like, this coming from the Orange Man himself? You know?
No. I think this is right. If you grew up at Fort Bragg, like, you were pissed that they changed that name, right? Like, the amount of history for that installation, right? The heraldry.
There's a lot of pride, a lot of tradition,
right? Multiple things can be true at once, right?
Yes.
It should have never been named after a fucking Confederate general. Yeah. Let's start there, right? We can agree. I think most people can agree with that. But the history of that place, you know, is deep, and paratroopers, right, have a very special place in their heart for that installation.
No, it's very true.
So, right, your special forces, your paratroopers, right, like all. Fort Bragg is America's 911 button. When the president picks up the phone because there's some shit, like, I need the boys to go out and take care of some business, right? Like, I need to call 911. Fort Bragg is the one that answers. Right. So there's a lot of history there. A lot of people, right? So, right, multiple things can be true at once. Cool. there's some stuff that I don't know if you saw this, right? SecDef was out working out with Green Berets at
doing PT.
110,
Yeah.
in Germany, like doing PT with them. Like, when's the last time you saw some shit like that ever happen?
I have that. Seriously, that is the first time I've ever seen that. A Secretary of Defense, because normally they've all been too old,
Yeah.
like,
right. Like,
but that is the first time.
Right. There's, the war fighters, the real war fighters are like, fuck yes. Like, yes. Right. Like, yes. Leading, right. You want to talk about leadership from the front.
That's right.
Being able to get up there and move with the boys. Like, it screams confidence. It screams capability. It screams war fighting. It screams, right. Like all the things that, like, you're like, yes. That's we talked last time, like good Trump, bad Trump. Like that's in this case it's good Pete,
bad Pete,
good Pete, bad Pete, right? Like I think that's good Pete. The brag thing, like okay.
Yeah, I think it was a little fast. I think it was a little sudden, a little fast. I think he should have held on to this, waited, like make it like a year down the road, take some time, come up with a plan, brief the plan, and then make it happen. But don't just dude, that was like, especially in a time when literally you got an organization that's just devoted to funding all the wasteful spending, and you're literally doing that. And now this is going to take a hit where it's
millions.
Like,
it's going to be millions.
Spend millions when you got soldiers in barracks that still got mold in them. You got
spend that on
spend that money. Don't worry about the damn name or the signs yet. Right now, let's enhance the force. Let's take care of the soldiers. Let's take care of the troops.
1000%, man.
Like
1000%.
Let's do that.
Multiple things can be good.
That would have been me if I was in that town hall. Which you should have held the town hall for that.
Multiple things can be true at once, right? Like there's some goodness in it, right? There's even you talk to the paratroopers and folks that grew up there, that were super pissed that like you kind of wrecked my lineage, my history, right?
Yeah. Like, no, I get it.
And there's like it's just in the heart, right? Like it is. You can agree that, hey, like it shouldn't have been named that to begin with. It's so good and bad. I'm not a big fan of it. Like you said, like that money could have been spent elsewhere. The effort can be spent elsewhere.
I agree.
Like I said, I sat on those planning sessions when I was an operations sergeant major there.
Dang, so was you, huh?
So I get it. I know what they're about to go through again. And it was stupid the first time. Changing everything to Liberty.
Did they have soldiers? It was a lot of details. A lot of soldiers. Hey, get these soldiers out there to go paint this sign.
I mean, there was definitely not quite that, but I mean, it was like the amount of money for ordering all the new signage, for getting people to put it up, for like all of that shit. Maybe I hope they stored it somewhere. They could just bust out the old shit.
I mean, technically, you could just bust out some of the old stuff.
You just bust out the old shit, like,
but it's going to be interesting, man. We'll see how that turns out, guys. Now, I mean, you heard our 2 cents on that. A little common sense from the boots on ground assessment. But as usual, guys, comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And those you military bubbas out there or veteran bubbas out there, but hey, comment as well. I definitely want to hear from you guys and let me know. Let us know your thoughts on the name change. Is it something that's, hey, we needed it now, or was it something that could have been a little further down the road? Give it some time, or not even done at all. I mean, there's so much different ways. I think we've established the different ways he could have approached with this, but obviously this is his style, and we're gonna see how it goes from here. So. Yeah. Either way, guys, hey, that's gonna wrap it up for us tonight, team. Hey, once again, thank you guys for being present. Thank you guys for tuning in and joining us. Always comment down below. Your support is definitely appreciated, guys. Hit the Chaos Shop. There's a new line out there. Trust and Verify series is live now. for a limited time. So definitely go ahead and get in there and get it while you can, while it's still hot and fresh. And thank you guys for tuning in as well. And let's see, what was the other thing I was going to tell you guys? I already forgot. I'm sorry. It's been a long day, guys. Okay, sorry. I got combatives PT tomorrow. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Man, I wish I could do that.
No, you don't, dude.
Beat
no,
your
you
fucking
don't.
ass.
You have us doing yoga for like 30 minutes.
I did have you guys doing yogas.
I know.
I'd beat your ass in that too.
Hey, hold this plank for 30 minutes, you bitches. What, you're gonna quit? Like, we held this plank, it's been 30 minutes.
Quitters.
Stand on one foot and then balance on your pinky for 10 minutes. Let's go. What the hell?
Yeah.
The good old days. The good old days. Oh, well. Hey, Will, you got any last words for the team?
Oh man, I usually throw out some dumb shit during this piece. I would just say, hey, like, the chaos is continuing. It always will. Don't let it divide you, right? If you have a brother or sister out there and you disagree with us, cool, man. Like, let's have a conversation and share our perspectives and be able to agree to disagree at the end of the day, or maybe, I don't know, educate each other. But if you spend your time trying to dunk on each other and just being a dick, right, you're not helping. That's the reason why, like, the fringes, right, you're gonna go back to your fringe and the other side's gonna go to their fringe. And you're going to further the divide instead of bring each other together when we've really probably got a lot of common ground. So just treat each other good, man. Like, hell yeah. Just generally, right? Like, try to be generally nice to each other. Don't dunk. Like, just, do you want to have conversations? Have conversations, man. And let's move the ball forward together as that great fucking flag back there. So that's what I got tonight, brother.
Damn, dude, that was... What happened to Will? Guys, what happened to Will? Hey. Okay, who are you and what you do with Will? Is he back there somewhere tied up? This is the Kanye version of Will, guys.
Don't do that. No, don't do No.
I'm kidding.
I love the Jewish people.
Very well said, though, man. Very well said. And that's actually, hey, that's what we're about here at Comfort and Chaos, guys. That's exactly what we're about here, But, yeah, man, very well said, dude. Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you on the next episode, team.